What's Darth Vader's favorite cooking utensil? And Ewok.
Harry Potter can't tell the difference between his cooking pot and his best mate. They're both cauldron.
French fries weren't cooked in France. They were cooked in Greece.
What skill does the wizard cook use most often? Cast iron pan.
My wife asked for peace and quiet while she cooked. So I turned the smoke detector off.
I just got kicked out of a secret cooking society. They really didn't like it when I spilled the beans.
Which town in Alabama do bad cooks come from? Birmingham.
My wife cooked electric eel for dinner. It was revolting.
How do kleptomaniacs like their eggs cooked? Poached.
A cook combined alphabet soup with laxatives. He calls it let her rip.
What do you call a magician who's good at cooking? A sorcerer.
What is Satan's favorite cooking show? Hell's Kitchen.
I've been trying all morning to cook up an original egg-based pun, but I just can't crack it.
My friend was cooking steaks today and said they cooked faster than expected. I told him well done.
My wife gets a terrible headache whenever I cook with wheat, barley, or rice. She suffers from migraines.
My friend told me to use herbs in my cooking to add more flavor. It was sage advice.
Why is stir frying never cooked on the ocean? Because everyone knows you can't walk on water.
My friends and I went to a cooking class on spices. We had the time of our lives.
I was gonna cook some alligator, but then I realized I only had a crock pot.
What do outgoing people cook with? Extra virgin olive oil.
What does a clown cook their soup with? Laughing stock.
Why was the cannibal so good at cooking elderly couples? He used an old family recipe.
Why don't cannibals cook noodles? They prefer raw men.
How do you cook a toilet paper? It's easy, you just brown it and then you throw it in the pot.
Why do women have to cook for their men? Because by law, all prisoners have to be fed.
What if King Arthur was a cook? He would search for the Holy Grail.
I watched an endearing video of a mother cannibal teaching her young daughters how to cook organs. It was heartwarming.
That oil was tough to cook with. It gave me a lot of truffle.
How does the flying nun cook? With an air fryer.
Why is it hard to cook dishes with mushrooms? The recipes don't leave mushroom for error.
I thought it would be hard to cook Chinese food outside, but it's been a real walk in the park.
What do you call a cannibal who can cook? Jeffrey Dahmer.
What do you call a vampire that likes to cook? Count Spatula.
What do Asian chefs use to cook Christmas dinner? A Jingle Bell wok.
Why are cooks so good at baseball? They batter up.
How many cooks does it take to stuff a turkey? Only one, but you have to really squeeze him in there.
Chewbacca usually is the one who cooks on the Millennium Falcon. It tastes pretty good, but it always turns out a bit chewy.
Have you heard about the new light that cooks hot dogs? It's called Frank Zapper.
My daughter cooked her dolls with seafood. She made shrimp on the Barbie.
A midget chef had to quit his job at a casino. He said the stakes were too high.
Why do chefs make terrible artists? Because all of their creations just turn to crap.
I once had a job prepping for a tuna salad chef. It was uncanny.
The Chef's Whodunit novel became a bestseller. The story had all the ingredients you could really sink your teeth into.
Why were the Chinese chefs always running late? Because it was a long walk to walk.
Never trust a pastry chef on Valentine's Day. He'll only desert you.
Did you hear about the pasta chefs caught bribing judges for an award ceremony? They were trying to rig a Tony.
Why didn't the chef scramble eggs? He was afraid of taking whisks.
Why did the chef avoid cooking at home? The fans at home were exhausting.
I was watching an Australian baking show. They cheered when one of the contestants successfully made meringue, which surprised me because I thought Australians usually boo meringue.
Why couldn't the robot bake? It ran out of battery.
Why do cats bake the best cakes? They've got great whiskers.
What baking ingredients should you take fishing? Castor sugar.
What do witches bake cakes in? Covens.
I have a maths teacher that's really good at baking. Apparently, he mainly bakes pie.
Why was Hannibal from the A-Team so happy with his baking? Because he loves it when a flan comes together.
I always use a picture of me in a giant pot of chicken broth for my social media. It's just a stock photo.
After an argument, my cooking instructor wants me to stew goose feathers gently below or just at the boiling point. She wants me to simmer down.
What happens to an Italian's car when it gets into a crash? It gets al dente'd.
A book never written, How to Cook Pasta, by Al Dente.
I'm looking forward to the new Hell's Kitchen pasta episode. A real al dente's inferno.
What do you call a music venue that sells stir fry? Hard Rock Cafe.
A hungry traveler stopped at a monastery and was taken to the kitchens where a brother is frying chips. "Are you the friar?" he asked. The brother replied, "No. I'm the chipmunk."
What is soup that was boiled in a porcelain pot? Made in China.
What pan is the best to make sushi in? Japan.
The recipe said, set the oven to 180 degrees. Now I can't open it, as the door faces the wall.
I put a lit disco ball in the oven. Turn the thing into a micro-rave.
Why should you never upset your oven? It might get too heated.
I heard the government wants us to only use electric stoves. I think they're gaslighting us.
Something is odd about my hot stove. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Why you don't buy a woman a watch? There is a clock on the stove. I'm Bob Jeffy.
And I'm Montgomery Jones.
And that's the Tasty Dad Jokes for National Cooking Day. We're on a mission to spread the laughs and groans far and wide, so please do us a favor and share just one of these jokes with your family and friends. Thanks.
Hey listeners, we have another podcast called Daily Shower Thoughts, showcasing random, amusing, and mind-bending epiphanies. Search for Daily Shower Thoughts in your podcast player or check the show notes page for more info. Your mind will be blown.
Do you have your own dad joke you want to share? Join the hundreds of listeners who have submitted their own dad jokes through our voicemail. Please spread the laughs and groans and submit your own dad joke to our voicemail, with the best ones to be included in special fan episodes. Just leave your name, the city and state you live in, and your best dad joke. Call 978-393-1076. I'll repeat that number, it's 978-393-1076, or check the show notes page for the number. We look forward to hearing from you.
The Daily Dad Jokes podcast is produced by Classic Studios. See the show notes page for social media links and joke credits. This show was recorded in front of a canned studio audience.